Hello, today we're going to go over how to read our graphs. So our first graph we're going to go over is this one. I want you to think to yourself, what type of graph is this? It's a bar graph. So to read a bar graph, you see what it says on the side. It says number of votes, and down here is the type of categories we have. So we have French fries, votes for French fries, votes for tater tots, potato chips, and a baked potato. Now, to read this graph, I'm going to go into my French fries, and I see that's about halfway between 10 and 20. So it will be 15 because 15 is halfway between those two numbers. In this graph, I can see it's right at that line. It's at 20. This graph, potato chips, it's again halfway between, so it's going to be 25. Oh, 25. And this last one at the end, it's about halfway between 0 and 10. So what do you think it's going to be? If you said 5, you are correct. So let's go down to our next one that we're working on. This is what type of graph? I see a lot of pictures. What does that make you think of? Did you say pictograph? Because if so, you are correct. Now, to read a pictograph, you really need to make sure you take a look at the key. The key is very important. So these are the number of sunny days that we had over the summer. In July, we had no sunny days, so I'm going to put 0 because there's no suns in there. I see that each sun is equal to 6 days, so I know that this is going to be 6. This is going to be another 6, 6, 6, and what's half of 6 since that's half of a sun? Half of 6 is 3. A lot of us always make a mistake here where we think that's just another whole sun, and it's not. It's half. So I'm just going to do a better job of skip counting here. So I'm going to go 6, 12, 18, 24, and 24 plus 3 will be 27. Yes, 27. So now I see that each time that there's a 6 here, this will end in 6. This will end in 12. Oh, the October is going to end in a 12. This November is going to be 18. And this September is going to be 24. So that's how I read that graph right there. Next, let's move on to our next graph. What does this graph make you think of? We've got a lot of dots on a line. Makes me think of a dot plot. Now, to read a dot plot, you see how many dots there are above each category. In this category, we have numbers. So it says number of books read. So this means there's 1 book that was read, 2 kids read 1 book. 2 books, or how many kids read 2 books? Only 1 kid read 2 books. How many kids read 3 books? 2 kids read 3 books. How many kids read 4 books? None. How many kids read 5? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 kids read 5 books. 2 kids read 6. How many kids read 7 books? Only the 1. And then we've got another 2. So that one, I will say, is a little bit tricky. We've seen this problem before, and it's gotten us before, but just really think about what it means when you're looking at that problem, at that data. So now let's take a look over here. This one, we've got a frequency table. So basically, you just have your tallies, you count them all up, and you use your frequency table here. So how many tallies do we have here? We've got 9 people like basketball. How many people like soccer? 8 people like soccer. And how many people like baseball? You count your tallies. You got 12. I hope this was helpful. Good luck.